I'm in Shaniko, Oregon right now. It's one of our ghost towns, one of our many. I just got done talking to a lady named Susan, and she kind of gave me the history on it. This town, it started in 1901 and had a few years that it thrived, and then so about 1950 it started going downhill. 2010, the hotel here saw its last resident. So pretty interesting. It was good talking to her.
Like donate some money if you want.
Okay. Well, do you have an ATM? Or
It's
a way
a
to...
ghost town.
I know. Okay. So
Might be a good question.
yeah. So how many people live here?
22.
22. I was here last week, and I saw some people playing piano down at the...
Yeah, we have an annual bluegrass. Most of it usually takes place out at the fairgrounds in Kai Valley, but part of it used to take place here in town.
Okay. And those people live here too? Are they part of 25?
No, they're invited in.
Oh, really? That's cool. The hotel over there.
Yeah,
When was the last time it was occupied?
over 10 years ago.
10 years ago, and it's just been sitting empty?
Yeah, the owner and the city got into a tiff,
Yeah. So 10 years ago. That's been 2010.
approximately, yeah.
Yeah. So one of the claims is that hotel is actually haunted.
Yes.
Yeah? Do you know any
There's
stories?
claims of a lot of people that the whole town is haunted, but
Oh, really?
quite frankly, there's a lot of people who drink.
Yeah. True. So it could just be that, the alcohol talking.
I am not taking a position.
Have you ever experienced anything here in town? No. Do you believe in ghosts and that type of stuff?
I believe in energy, but
Energy?
I don't know that I believe in ghosts.
Yeah. It's interesting. That gel, wasn't an active gel?
It was. That's the original jail, yeah.
I saw that there's still a person in there, in the last cell.
What can I tell you?
I guess when everybody moved out of town, they forgot about him, huh?
That I can't confirm or deny. I don't know that much about town. I can tell you that the town was founded in 1901.
Okay.
It's a sheep town. There were all sheep ranches around here. And it was the largest wool producing area in North America, wool exporting area in North America for a few years. A train line came in, a spur line came in to pick up the wool. And after the railroads were built along the rivers, then the railroad said, we're not coming out here anymore, you have to come to us. And that's when the town started to die.
Oh, I see.
But for about 2 years, probably around a little before 1910, our post office was the busiest post office west of the Mississippi, because from here, the only way you could get to Prineville, Bend, and even Northern California was by stagecoach. So the mail came in on that rail line and then went on to stagecoaches from here.
Wow, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
So short-lived town.
Yeah, well, I mean, it struggled along. The rail continued to operate, but it kept decreasing in its services, like rail lines all over the country. So even it was a passenger line as well, and as many as 30,000 passengers came in on one year. But then the passenger service wasn't every day, then it wasn't every week, then it was once a month. So the town was still probably a functional town until the 1940s. The school closed in 1951.
Okay.
So that gives you
Yeah.
a marker for when it wasn't really viable anymore. And many of the buildings here went away, not just because of fire and wind, although that's part of it, but there's several houses in Madras that are from Shaniko. Ranchers in the area took buildings away.
Oh, yeah.
So they lost a lot of the town just from people taking things away from it.
Yeah.
Naturally, the hotel remained. It's the only brick structure in town. And about half of the buildings that you see are original. Some of them have been brought in to fill in gaps. The schoolhouse is original. The jailhouse is original. and a couple of the shop buildings shop fronts are original.
Huh.
But I always tell tourists, you know, if you go down to the intersection, since we only have actually 2 main streets,
Right.
and imagine that the train's coming in with passengers and it's going to pick up wool, and maybe there's guys still in the shearing sheds, and passengers are getting off, and the ranch hands are in town. This was a bunkhouse, one of many, and there were bars, and there was even a small red light district in the south of town. So stagecoaches are lined up at the hotels to take people further on. So it was a pretty bustly little town for a very brief period of time. But now the residents are all generally retired. Very few that are young enough even to be holding jobs, but on the other hand, there are no jobs out here except for ranch and help. And so it's very difficult to keep the town maintained because we have no money, we have no people, and in the 10 years that I've been here, I've watched a lot of the buildings deteriorate. We used to have a lot more small cabins. They've gone down with the wind.
Yeah.
We used to have a bed and breakfast. It was burned in a brush fire about 10 years ago. There's a water tower by the schoolhouse that it's a big brown structure. It used to be the signature of the town. 30 feet of it blew off in a windstorm about 8 years ago, I guess. And of course, there's no money to restore or replace it. So